Before we jump in, let's get one thing straight. Intermittent fasting is not starving yourself. Starvation is when your body panics. Fasting is when your body switches gears. This is how humans were designed to eat. Periods of eating followed by periods of rest. When you stop eating for a window of time, your body doesn't shut down. It wakes up. During fasting, your body turns on repair and survival pathways, makes insulin work the way it's supposed to, switches from burning sugar to burning stored fat. Here's the key part most people miss. High insulin locks fat in storage. Low insulin unlocks fat for fuel. So fasting isn't about eating less. It's about changing the signal your body responds to. And once you understand that, everything else in this video finally makes sense. Tip number 7, don't obsess over the scale. Daily weigh-ins don't motivate fat loss. They confuse it. Here's why. The scale measures total body weight, not fat. That number changes every day based on water retention, salt intake hormones, stress, glycogen storage. You can be losing fat and still see the scale go up. That's not failure. That's physiology. Research shows early weight changes during fasting and low-carb eating are often water shifts, not fat loss. Actual fat loss happens quietly and gradually underneath. So what should you track instead? Better fat loss markers are appetite naturally decreasing, cravings calming down, clothes fitting looser, energy and mental clarity improving. Those are signs insulin is improving and fat is becoming accessible. Here's the best way to do this. Take progress photos every 2 to 4 weeks, not daily. Same lighting, same clothes, same angle. Fat loss shows up visually long before it shows up numerically. Your body protects fat as a survival tool. It does not give it up quickly or predictably. The goal is not fast weight loss. The goal is metabolic health first. When your body feels safe and insulin improves, the weight follows. Tip number 6, consistency beats perfection. This is where most people get stuck. One small carb, slip a half glass of wine, a slice of bread, a small snack can pause fat burning for 24 to 48 hours. Not because you failed, not because you lack discipline, just biology. When insulin rises, fat stays locked in storage. Ketosis doesn't disappear forever, but the clock resets. So if you're doing everything right, but slipping every other day, your body never stays in fat-burning mode long enough to show results. That's why intensity doesn't win. Consistency does. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be predictable. Hormones respond to patterns, not effort. Tip number 5, I add high-intensity interval training, but not too much. Let's start with what high-intensity interval training actually means. High-intensity interval training is a style of exercise where you do short bursts of very intense effort, followed by planned rest or low-intensity movement. This is not long cardio. It's not jogging for 45 minutes. It's brief, demanding work, then recovery. When done correctly, high-intensity interval training triggers a strong release of growth hormone, improves insulin sensitivity, helps preserve muscle during fat loss. That combination makes it especially effective when paired with intermittent fasting. But here's the mistake most people make. Because it works, they do too much of it. Too much high-intensity interval training raises cortisol. High cortisol raises blood sugar, increases insulin, and can block fat loss. So if you're exercising hard every day and not seeing progress, this is often why. The best approach: 1 to 2 sessions of high-intensity interval training per week. Keep the sessions short. Allow full recovery between workouts. Your body doesn't change during the workout. It changes during recovery. Fat loss isn't about exhausting yourself. It's about applying the right stress, then giving your body the space to adapt. Tip number 4, use insulin-targeting drinks. Let's clear something up first. Weight loss is not about speeding up your metabolism. It's about fixing insulin resistance. If insulin stays high, fat stays locked in storage. These drinks don't burn fat directly. They help insulin work better, so fat loss can finally happen. Let's go through them one by one. Green tea, why it helps. Green tea contains compounds that improve insulin sensitivity and reduce glucose spikes after meals. It also slightly increases fat oxidation without overstimulating the nervous system. How much? 1 to 3 cups per day. When to drink? Best between meals or during your fasting window. Avoid late evening if you're sensitive to caffeine. Green tea supports the metabolic environment for fat loss. It does not replace diet or fasting. Think of it as a helper, not a solution. Berberine, why it helps. Berberine improves insulin sensitivity and glucose uptake at the cellular level. Multiple studies show effects similar to metformin for blood sugar control. How much? 500 mg once to twice daily. Best taken with meals, especially meals containing carbohydrates. Berberine does not cause fat loss on its own. It helps lower insulin response after eating, which supports fat burning over time. People on medications should always check with their provider before starting it. Apple cider vinegar. Why it helps? Apple cider vinegar slows gastric emptying and reduces post-meal blood sugar spikes, leading to a lower insulin response. How much? 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon. How to take? Dilute in a full glass of water. Never take it straight. Drink it before meals or once daily during the eating window. This is about blood sugar control, not fat melting. Use a straw if you're concerned about tooth enamel. Consistency matters more than dose. These drinks do not cancel poor eating habits, replace intermittent fasting, magically burn fat. What they do: lower insulin spikes, improve insulin sensitivity, support the hormonal environment needed for fat loss. Fat loss happens when insulin is low often enough and long enough. These tools help create that condition. Tip number 3, eat nutrient-dense food. When you do eat, intermittent fasting does not cancel out poor food choices. When you eat matters, but what you eat still matters. After fasting, your body is more insulin sensitive. That's an advantage, and you don't want to waste it on low-quality food. Nutrient-dense foods give your body what it actually needs to repair, regulate hormones, and control appetite. Best options: eggs, salmon, and other fatty fish. Grass-fed beef, large salads with whole vegetables, minimally processed whole foods. These foods provide protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals that signal fullness and stabilize blood sugar. Here's why this matters. Nutrient-poor foods may be high in calories but low in nutrients. When that happens, your body stays hungry because it's still missing what it needs. That's why people can eat a lot and still feel unsatisfied. Restaurant food is a common problem. Often cooked in seed oils, contains hidden sugars. Low in micronutrients. This combination drives inflammation, hunger, and insulin spikes. Patient education point: hunger is often a nutrient problem, not a willpower problem. When you eat nutrient-dense food, appetite naturally decreases, cravings calm down, and fasting becomes easier. The goal isn't eating less food. The goal is eating better food so your body doesn't keep asking for more. Tip number 2, eat nutrient-dense food. When you do eat, intermittent fasting does not cancel out poor food choices. When you eat matters, but what you eat still matters. After fasting, your body is more insulin sensitive. That's an advantage. And you don't want to waste it on low-quality food. Nutrient-dense foods give your body what it actually needs to repair, regulate hormones, and control appetite. Best options: eggs, salmon, and other fatty fish, grass-fed beef, large salads with whole vegetables, minimally processed whole foods. These foods provide protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals that signal fullness and stabilize blood sugar. Here's why this matters. Nutrient-poor foods may be high in calories but low in nutrients. When that happens, your body stays hungry because it's still missing what it needs. That's why people can eat a lot and still feel unsatisfied. Restaurant food is a common problem. Often cooked in seed oils, contains hidden sugars. Low in micronutrients. This combination drives inflammation, hunger, and insulin spikes. Hunger is often a nutrient problem, not a willpower problem. When you eat nutrient-dense food, appetite naturally decreases, cravings calm down, and fasting becomes easier. The goal isn't eating less food. The goal is eating better food so your body doesn't keep asking for more. Align fasting with your circadian rhythm. Before we talk about the most powerful strategy, there's one mistake that quietly blocks results for a lot of people. Late night eating. Your body runs on a biological clock, and your insulin sensitivity is highest earlier in the day. As the day goes on, your body becomes less efficient at handling glucose. So the same meal eaten late at night causes higher insulin levels, more fat storage, less fat burning. This is why people say, I fast, I eat clean, but nothing changes. Best approach, eat earlier in the day when possible, finish your last meal at least 3 to 4 hours before sleep. For many people, just fixing this timing issue leads to noticeable fat loss without changing anything else. Now that matters because it sets the stage for the most important tip of all. Transition to 1 meal a day. This is the turning point. Transitioning to 1 meal a day means spending close to 23 hours in a fasting state. And that extended fasting window is where deep metabolic changes occur. When you consistently eat 1 meal a day, ketone production rises significantly. Insulin receptors become more sensitive again. The liver gets time to regenerate. The digestive system has a true reset. The body becomes fully adapted to burning fat. This is where stubborn, long-standing fat finally starts to move. Not because you are forcing weight loss, but because your hormones finally have enough uninterrupted time to recalibrate. This is an important patient education point. Transitioning to 1 meal a day is not for beginners. It is not where you start. It is where you progress. You build up to it by shortening your eating window gradually, stabilizing blood sugar and energy, becoming comfortable with fasting first. But for people with insulin resistance, slow metabolism, or weight loss that has been stalled for years, transitioning to 1 meal a day is often unmatched. This is when the body stops defending fat storage and starts using fat as fuel naturally. Intermittent fasting is not about willpower or restriction. It's about sending the right signals to your body at the right time for long enough. When timing, consistency, and fasting duration finally line up, fat loss becomes a consequence of better metabolic health, and that's when results last. If this helped you understand your body better, please like, share, and subscribe for more clear, practical, evidence-based guidance.